welcome to Emerald Lake. I'm Raven, and today I'll be showing you how to make an origami duck. Today's origami is one that I had on the back of an origami paper booklet, so its instructions are all in Japanese, but I'll still be adding a PDF underneath so that you can follow along with pictures if that makes it easier for you. Alright, here's our little duck. This is what we're after. And this is the little paper that goes around the papers for origami that has my little instructions at the back. This is what we are following right here. 1 all the way up to 10. The paper we're using today is blue wave pattern on one side and yellow on the other. We'll be using the yellow. The pattern on this side shouldn't be seen at all, as you can see in the pattern here. There's no more white throughout the rest of the little duckling. You can see only one color on this paper right there. So that is what we'll see on the rest of it, a good little yellow duckling. Step 1, we're taking our square, we'll fold it into a triangle and back up just for the center guideline. If you've seen my swan origami video, it's the same first couple of steps. So we take this, we bring it down, we make the points line up just how we want. And once we're happy with that, we hold that still and we go all the way back and we gently fold back there. We're not going to fully fold, we'll confidently crease it in a moment. Once we've got our corners set how we like them, maybe once we've double checked them, then we'll hold that line still and we'll confidently crease after that. A super confident crease, you might use your nail, maybe the back of a nail, or maybe 2 fingers. But I highly recommend while you're learning every pattern to start with a less confident crease and then a full crease after. So we're just making that crease and we're folding back up for step 2. We just wanted that guideline. And in step 2, we're taking these edges and bringing them to the middle. We're not bringing the points in, we're bringing the whole edge in. One way to do that so that you can make sure you get right to the center is to hold up one side and get that edge all the way up there. Because if you don't, you might not fully see where your edge actually is. Another way is to take both sides and have them meet up. You can follow when they look like they're straight at the top, there's no bunching at the edges. That's roughly where you should be. And you can kind of start straightening out the point, get them to where you want, and semi-fold one side and the other. And if that looks right, then go ahead and confidently crease with your nail or whatever tool you might use so that we get that first step. So there we go. We're at step 3. It sits like this in the PDF. And the next step is to turn it over so that it looks like this. And we're going to be taking this point up to the top here, but just a little bit down. Now this is up to you. Where exactly you put it is going to be your creative decision, but we're going to be putting it not quite to the top, not super far down, somewhere a little bit in between. So I'm picking right here. It's a couple centimeters apart. And then I'm going to less confident crease here. Do I like where this sits? I think so. And we'll confidently crease it. Now step 5, we're going to be folding it in half. That should be pretty simple. That crease that we've used to center it, we're just folding that. So we pinch that up, and there you go. Step 6, we're going to be pulling this up, just like the swans and cranes do. We're going to be pulling it up. And just like that before, how far you pull it up is a little bit up to you. If you go too far, you're not going to have any body for the little duckling, and if you stay too low, it's not going to have any neck really. So try and go partially up. I'm going to go with about this far, I think. I'll less confidently crease. get a rough idea. Yeah, I think that'll be good. And I'll confidently crease it on both sides, just because it's a thick situation. There's lots in between now. And that's step 6 done. But step 7, we're going to be folding the beak in next. This is just like the end of the swan. So I'm going to pick a spot where I like that beak to come in. And how I'm going to pull this off is I'm going to pinch this. I'm going to fit a fingers on either side. I'm going to pull that. And I'm going to just, I like that. I'm going to pinch that sides. And that's how I can make that. But I don't quite like how far back that is. So I'm actually going to go a little bit deeper. Fold it in and fold back. There's a little bit of catch there. Fold it down, and I'm going to pinch it there. I'm going to straighten it out. I like it like this. All right. Confidently creasing. You can see that he's looking upwards. This guy was looking down a little bit. That guy's looking upwards a little bit. But he's looking up, and I like him. But that's not quite how we have this little guy. He's got a little funky little tail. So let's make a little tail. This is what we're going to be doing steps 8, 9 to 10. We're going to be folding it down and then back up. So this might be difficult, it might be tricky, and it might be easier in some parts to have him open like this just as you're holding him. Figure out what works best for you. But right now, we've got to step 8. We need to fold it downwards. Well, I'm going to start with giving myself some guidelines that aren't really in the pattern. So I'm going to pick how far back I want it to go down. Basic idea is that it goes like this. I'm going to pick where I want it. So I've taken this and I've kind of folded it down. I can see that this is roughly where it goes back to. You can follow. That looks about right for that. So I'm going to give myself this guideline. I'm going to give that and that. This isn't in the pattern because it's not really necessary, but it might make it a lot easier for you as you go along. Now I'm going to stick my finger in there to puff it out. I'm going to fold that down, and we're going to go until those lines are happy. Now that bit is tucked away and you can't even see it. But that's not it. We're moving on to step 9. We need to pull that back out again. So when I pull it out, back where it was, I'm going to make a secondary guideline. If we're going down first, it needs to come back up. We liked it down here. What was roughly where we wanted it up? So we could do this. We can go further. It's a little bit tricky to play with what you want design-wise. I've got a little poking edge, or I could try something where it's back further. And that looks more like what we've got on this guy. So I think I'll go something like that. So I'll make a simple fold like that for me there, and I'll pull it out all the way. I can see roughly this is where the next fold is. I can fold this way and that way. And that's our little guideline for the next one. More confidently crease it this way, that way. And that's where that one will sit. So now, when I go to put it down, it'll go down. And then when I go to push it up, pushing it up, it'll stick out just like that. How you manage to get this little tail out is up to you. But that's how I've got mine. It's a very much creative decision. Now, let's try and go about it and see if we can make even another different shape to that little tail end. Alright, so now I've got another duck. With this duck, we're going to be following closer to this pattern. It'll look more pointed upward like this than the little sticky out that I've got. But that's how I was taught separate from this pattern. So what we'll do is we'll take this tiny corner at the point We're going to match it up to this edge right here, that little corner here. So you're going to take it down. You're going to find a way to get it right in there. Where it's struggling, push with it. You want it to look like that. That's when you fold your guideline. This is our guideline, and then you go back. This gives you lots of room for when you're going to make your smaller guideline. The way that this one is going to go is it's going to go up a little bit closer, but let's show you get it down, you got it into that corner, you pinch it at the corner, you straighten it out here, and you can make it real sharp just like that. What we're going to be doing next is bringing it up. I'll show you roughly. You want it's uncooperative right now. You want this edge to be the next straight edge almost right off of that. So when you make your next guy, you want him just a little bit up, and you need it just a little bit tilted down like this. So what you do this time is you get it pointing at this corner. We're not going to get all the way to it, but we're going to point at that corner. So once he's pointing that, you can kind of see that line. You squish it shut confidently, fold it back the other way, and that is your secondary guideline to make it easy to fold down. So you go all the way down, then you grab the little one, and you come just a bit up, and now you've got it sticking up straight. So now you've got a little duckling with a happy, perky little tail, and there's your ducklings. Two different little duckling tail styles, but I like them both. Both are valid to me. Tell me which one you prefer, the pattern or the little pokey one. I think it's just a little goofy and fun. Let me know. I hope you've liked this how-to video, and I'll be making more soon. I've got flowers and I've got toys in the next ones. Thanks!